Hi, it's Tash. Welcome to Tash's Library. Today's video is going to be my favorite video to make, and that is my August TBR video, where I play my TBR game. Now, once again, I'm going to be participating in Buzz Wordathon, and I'm doing both the cover and title prompts. The cover prompt this for August is transportation on the cover, and the title prompt is the word with in the title. So I'm going to try and find books that meet those prompts as well. So let's go to the board. And here's my TBR game. I move anti-clockwise, and if I land on a square, I have to pick the correspondingly colored card. If I land on one of the bookworm spaces, I play the bookworm game, which has super obscure prompts, and I throw 2 dice. If I throw a double, I add an extra roll. And as usual, I'm playing with my cute little Eeyore. We begin here. First throw is a double. All right, so that's 2. 1, 2. So that's a yellow, all in the making, which a publication prompts. And that is a hyped book. And we started off with a double. So it's not going particularly well. The last 2 months I've had no doubles, which has been pretty cool. But, you know, it makes it exciting. And we got an all in the making prompt, and this was a hyped book. Now, I'm going to read a book that has been particularly hyped. Now, I know it hasn't got the best reviews from what I've seen lately, but it was hyped, and it's definitely hyped due to the author, and that is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. Now, I haven't read any Joe Abercrombie before, so I'm going into this with no expectations. So hopefully I really like it. The synopsis really intrigued me, but I'm not a massive fan of grim books, so we shall see how I go. I'll read you the synopsis, even though you probably know all about this book already. Europe stares into the abyss. Plague and famine stalk the land, monsters lurk in every shadow, and greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions. Sometimes only the darkest paths lead toward the light, paths on which the righteous will not dare to tread. And so buried beneath the sacred splendor of the celestial palace is the secret chapel of the Holy Expediency. For its congregation of convicted monsters, there are no sins that have not been committed, no lines that will not be crossed, and no mission that cannot be turned into a disastrous bloodbath. So yeah, it sounds pretty grim, but from what I hear, it's a group of people who kind of go off on a journey, and I like journeys. So we'll see. We'll see what I think of this one. It's definitely been hyped. It is a bit of a chunky book, but I'll give it a go. I mean, even if I don't like it, I'll still try some other Joe Abercrombie. I have heard First Law is really good, but I kind of like the premise of this one. Roll number 2 is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's what's in a name, which are title prompts. And this one is titled chapters. What's in a name? And I got titled chapters. So that was always a tricky one because you've actually got to look through your books. But there is a book I really want to read because it's on my fantasy bingo board for Biopunk. And that is from the collection of the works of H.G. Wells. I got this really cool little bind up, which is very, very pretty. But I'm going to read The Island of Dr. Moreau. Now, I don't believe this is a particularly long book, but the chapters do actually have titles. So it says chapter 1, and then it's got a title. So I think this counts. Now, from what I understand from this book, it's basically Dr. Moreau who does scientific experiments to create sort of human-animal hybrids. I have read The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and that is based on this, and I enjoyed that. I'm kind of keen to look at the original now and see how creepy it actually is. I'm expecting it to be a little bit disturbing, but I am intrigued to read this. Roll number 3 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another yellow. That's the final yellow prompt. So I'll have to mix the old cards back in. and that is a debut book. All in the making, and it's a debut book. And I'm going to get my Buzzwordathon title prompt into this one. And this is a book I've owned for a very long time on Kindle, and I haven't got to it. And it's The Girl with Ghost Eyes by M.H. Borison. Now, from what I can see, this is indeed a debut novel, and it's book one of the Daoshi Chronicles. It's the end of the 19th century in San Francisco's Chinatown, and ghost hunters from the Maoshan traditions of Taoism keep malevolent spiritual forces at bay. Li Lin, the daughter of a renowned Daoshi exorcist, is a young widow burdened with yin eyes, the unique ability to see the spirit world. Her spiritual visions and the death of her husband bring shame to Li Lin, and her father and shame is not something this immigrant family can afford. It's got martial arts, a peachwood sword, paper talismans, a wisecracking spirit, dangerous alleys and back rooms of Chinatown, evil spirits, gangsters, soul stealers, and ancient evil. Sounds really cool, and I don't know why I haven't got to it yet, because now that I've read the synopsis again, I know why I bought it in the first place. Very excited about this one. All right, and here are the other yellow cards. I do remove them once I pull them, just to give good rotation to my prompts, but we have done them all, so they're all back in the game now, except for the one I've just pulled. All right, let's put those down. Roll number 4 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purple prompt from cover to cover, which are cover prompts. And it's a cover with an author photo. Now that can obviously be on the back or the flap. From cover to cover, and it's a cover with an author photo. And I'm going to continue a series for this one. I'm going to read the third book in Richard Osman's series, which is the Thursday Murder Club. And this is The Bullet That Missed. I absolutely love the covers of these. I just like the really simple color and the little fox. That's what kind of brought me to the series in the first place. But anyway, this is the third book, so I can't give you much information on this one. But it is based on a group of elderly people who live in this old age home, and they have a murder club where they discuss cold crimes, like cold cases. And then an actual murder happens in the vicinity, and they feel that they are perfectly qualified to solve it. They are just really fun because they have a real cozy element to them, but they're also quite dark in places, and there's quite a lot of deep themes explored. Looking forward to getting to the third one. Roll number 5 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Another title prompt. And that's no the, an, off, or and in the title. What's in the name? And it's no the, an, the, off, the, and in the title, etc. And for this one, I'm going to read Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. Yes, they have made a film called Mickey 17. I have not watched the film because I really want to read the book first. I've heard the book's really good. So Mickey 7 is an expendable, a disposable employee on a human expedition sent to colonize the ice world, Niflheim. Whenever there's a mission that's too dangerous, even suicidal, the crew turns to Mickey. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. He signed on to escape from both bad debts and boredom on Midgard. After 6 deaths, Mickey 7 understands the terms of his deal, and White was the only colonial position unfilled when he took it. When he goes missing and is presumed dead at the hands of deadly indigenous creatures, Mickey 8 reports for duty, and their troubles really begin. I've heard this is kind of really funny as well. But anyway, I'm intrigued. I've been meaning to read it for a very, very long time. Roll number 6 is another double. 1, 2, another cover prompt. And this time it's a cover depicting an isolated or rural setting. I'll get another double 1. Oh my gosh. But anyway, it's all right because we got a cover prompt and it's a cover depicting an isolated or rural setting. And for this one, I don't know if this is rural or not, but it looks rural to me. and I really want to read the book, so I'm going to put it on. And that is The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. I have ordered this, but has not yet arrived, so I'm just going to be putting a picture up. Hopefully it does. If not, I mean, it should do. It's meant to arrive very shortly, so we shall see. I will definitely get to it. And this is the prequel to The Spell Shop, which I actually loved. It was one of the major surprises of the year for me because it was classed as sort of romantasy. I'm not a fan of romantasy, and I loved that book. So I don't want to give you too much because it will actually give away some of the story of The Spell Shop, but it does involve a witch. It does involve the Great Library of Elysium, and it does involve a sentient spider plant. And I cannot wait to read more about the sentient spider plant, which is my all-time favorite companion character at the moment. But yes, I'm not going to tell you much more than that. I'm just super excited to read it. Roll number 7 is a 3. 1, 2, 3, Bookworm Game. All right, so this is the Bookworm Game. It's a dice game made by Michael Palm and Lucas Zach. The dice game is actually quite fun, but I'm going to use it for the prompts in this time. So the cards have 3 different prompts. So for example, a day as a magician, cities in Africa, things for climbing. I throw a die. If I throw a 1 or 2, I pick the green prompt, 3 or 4, orange prompt, 5 or 6, red prompt. So let's shuffle. All right, and let's pick this card. Okay, so things at a police station. Typical for Japan, a day as a fortune teller. Right. And we throw the die. 4. Typical for Japan. And we got the Bookworm Game, and it was a typical for Japan. And this one is sort of a no-brainer for me because I've got quite a lot of books in that are translated from the Japanese, and so that's obvious that I'm going to do that. So I'm going to continue the series before the coffee gets cold. This is Tales from the Cafe. I really enjoyed the first book, and somehow I never got to this one. I had it on a TBR, and then I moved house, and it was a busy month. I didn't get to it, and then for some reason, it never made its way back to a TBR. But anyway, I definitely want to read this. They're thin little books. They are superbly poignant and interesting. Beautiful covers. Look at that cover. So pretty. But yes, so the premise of the series is that there's a cafe with a certain table, and if you sit at this table, you can go back to the past, to any event that happened within that cafe. So you can talk to people who are dead, etc., and get to relive a certain moment. The caveat is you have to leave before your coffee gets cold. You can only visit the past in that spot, and you cannot change anything. I really enjoyed it. It's really heartfelt, heartwarming, sad, all of it at the same time, but ultimately uplifting about the human spirit. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this book. Roll number 8 is an 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The title prompt, and this is an adjective in the title. What's in a name? And it's an adjective in the title. And because we've got a couple doubles already, I'm going to read a book that won't take me very long, but I've also been dying to get to. And that is A Dumb Bird's Field Guide to the Worst Book Birds Ever. So this is, I have read the field guide to the Dumb Birds of the Whole Stupid World or something like that, and I loved it. It's so fun. So anyway, so it does have dumb as it has worst, so it's got adjectives in the title, and this is just so cute because it's like a little non-fiction book with gorgeous pictures. So it will have, like, for example, the Rainbow Bee Eater, and it's got gorgeous images, but then we'll just have very, very funny descriptions of them. So I'm really enjoying these books, and I've been wanting to get to this one as well, which I've bought recently. Roll number 9 is another double. This is insane. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Red prompt, it's a vibe. And so these are genres and settings. And it's a book with an animal companion. And good thing I put on a couple short books because we have another double. This time it's a vibe, and it's a book with an animal companion, my favorite. And I'm going to stretch this one a little bit. I'm going to go with a dragon as an animal companion. I think that's okay because I really want to read this book because I've got it on my R Fantasy bingo board. And that is Miss Percy's Pocket Guide to the Care and Feeding of British Dragons. It sounds really fun and cozy, so I can't wait for it. It's a self-published book. Miss Mildred Percy inherits a dragon. But we've already got ahead of ourselves. Miss Mildred Percy is a spinster. She does not dance. She has long stopped dreaming. She certainly does not have adventures. That is until her great uncle has the audacity to leave her inheritance, one that includes a dragon egg. And yeah, I've heard this is really fun, so I want to get to it. Number 10. Ooh, I'm going to take that as a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a vibe, and it's a book with a favorite trope. Another, it's a vibe, and this is a book with a favorite trope. You could argue that animal companions are a favorite trope too, but I get a chance to pick another favorite trope. One of my favorite tropes is voyages. I like books with journeys in them. And so I'm going to continue a series, and this is from the Memoir of Lady Trent series, and it's The Voyage of the Basilisk, which is the 3rd book in the series. This will also fulfill the transportation on the title because it's got like a little ship on it. Not quite a ship, it's more like a boat, but anyway, it's kind of cool. I really like these covers. I really enjoyed the first 2 books. I mean, they've been fairly solid 4 stars for me, and they follow Lady Trent, who is a woman in a man's world, and her dream is to study dragons, but academia is not really an allowed pathway for women of high breeding or women at all. And so she's lucky enough to know people who allow her to enjoy her little hobby a little bit. And so it follows basically her voyages to study these dragons. And each book so far has been set in a different spot. And in this one, she's going to undertake a 2-year trip around the world on the Royal Survey ship Basilisk. Super, super cool. I'm looking forward to this so much. It's sort of written in a journal style, which isn't my favorite, but it's just so enjoyable. I really enjoy the vibe I get off these books. And the last roll, I believe, number 11, is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another title prompt. And that's a conjunction in the title. And another title prompt, and that's a conjunction in the title. I'm going to read another new release for this one, which got a little bit mangled in the mail, but that's okay. I can live with it. This is Of Monsters and Mainframes. And this is by Barbara Truelove. Her name's pretty hidden in the picture, but that cover is so amazing. Look at that cover. That kind of really got me, and I just realized that had transportation on the cover as well. It's got like a little spaceship. But anyway, so either way, I will get buzzwordathon. And of course it has "and" in the title. All right, so Demeter just wants to do her job, shuttling humans between Earth and Alpha Centauri. Unfortunately, her passengers keep dying, and not from equipment failures as her AI medical system steward would have her believe. These are paranormal murders, and they began when one nasty ancient vampire decided to board Demeter and kill all her humans. So that sounds pretty cool. It is described as the queer love child of pulp horror and classic sci-fi, a dazzling, heartfelt odyssey that probes what it means to be one of society's monsters and explores the many types of friendship that makes us human. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of a cozy science fiction book. All right, 11 books. That's a lot, but we're not done yet. We have to pick my short stories. Now, anyone who's been watching my channel for most of this year, you will know that I use a picker wheel to pick books from the big book of science fiction, which is edited by Anne and Jeff Vandermeer. And the reason I do that is because this is a chunk of a book that I was just never really picking up to read. And by picking a few stories a month, I can gradually work my way through it. Now, the way I do this is I go to a picker wheel, I go to use Wheel of Names, and I've put all the stories in here, and I'm just going to spin. So let's see what we get. I'm going to spin once, and what's going to come up? All right. Before I Wake by Kim Stanley Robinson. All right, let's go see what it's about. Okay, so Kim Stanley Robinson, which I think we've all heard of, is an award-winning US writer of science fiction. So best known for like his Red Mars, Green Mars, Blue Mars series. I haven't read them, but I have heard of them. All right, so Before I Wake, which was published in 1989, is not necessarily typical of his longer work, but at the short fiction length, he roves more widely. It's a powerful humanist tale about the nature of reality, based in part on a dream journal that Robinson kept between 1975 and 1980. Looks like a fairly short story, so I should be able to get to that one. All right, let's spin again. And all right. So it's The Ghost Standard by William Tenn. Oh, this sounds pretty fun. So William Tenn was a British-American writer of science fiction who wrote a famous story called The Liberation of Earth. Ghost Standard was published in 1994 and is a comic masterpiece showcasing the ways in which science fiction and humor can be a perfect match. I enjoy humorous books and stories, so I think I'm going to like that one. And we'll spin one more time. And all right. Actually, can't read that back to front. September 2005, The Martian by Ray Bradbury. Interesting, because I think this comes out of the Martian Chronicles, and which I have read. But let me see, because I actually don't mind rereading Ray Bradbury. Yes, so it is part of the Martian Chronicles, but this particular story was first published as a standalone short story in 1949. So I probably have read this one, but look, Ray Bradbury is such a joy to read. The Martian Chronicles are definitely in my top 20 sci-fi books of all time. I don't mind reading it again. And that's my TBR. It is a pretty huge, plus a Kindle book. It is massive. It's bigger than most of my other months so far, but it's okay because I'm actually really looking forward to all these books. I got a really nice mix of science fiction and fantasy, darker and cozier, and mystery. It should be really fun. Well, let me know what book you're really looking forward to reading in August, and thank you for watching. Until I see you next time, take care.